Good morning and welcome to Woodland Community Church. Thanks, Zach. I was like, oh yeah, I'm in my type of Sandy right now. Sorry. I'm excited that you're all here. We're excited that you're all here. Everyone's excited that each of you are here. We are going to start off with some worship in the form of singing, and then that will lead into the rest of our service. If you're a guest here at Woodland Community Church, we're super pumped that you're here, number one, and we don't expect you to give in the tithes and offering. But if you are a faithful member of Woodland Community Church or a faithful attender and a part of the body through Woodland Community Church, we appreciate your faithfulness and your giving, and you are greatly valued in your faithfulness in that. We're going to sing some songs.
Set free.
crashes over me. For you are for us, you are not against us. Champion of heaven, you made a way for all to enter in. I have heard you calling my name. I have heard the song of love that you sing. Whoa, so I will let you draw me out beyond the shore into your grace. Oh, your grace as your love, and wave after wave crashes over me, crashes over me. For you are for us, you are not against us. Champion of heaven, you made a way for all to enter in. You make me brave, you make me brave. You call me out beyond the shore into the waves. And you make me brave, and you make me brave. And no fear can hinder now that love has made a way. And you make me brave, and you make me brave. And you call me out beyond the shore into the waves. And you make me brave, and you make me brave. And you call me out beyond the shore into the waves. And you make me brave, you make me brave. You call me out beyond the shore into the waves. You make me brave, you make me brave. No fear can hinder now that love has made a way. You make me brave, you make me brave. You call me out beyond the shore into the waves. You make me brave, you make me brave. No fear can hinder now the promises you made. Because of love, and wave after wave crashes over me, crashes over me. For you are for us, you are not against us. Champion of heaven, you made a way for all to enter in. Your love is devoted, like a ring of solid gold, like a vow that is tested, like a covenant of old. Your love is enduring through the winter rain and beyond the horizon, with mercy for today. And faithful you have been, and faithful you will be. You pledge yourself to me, and it's why I sing your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will
ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips. You father the orphan, your kindness makes us whole, and you shoulder weakness, and your strength becomes our own. And you're making me like you, you're clothing me in white, bringing beauty from ashes. For you will have your bride, free of all her guilt and rid of all her shame, known by her true name. And it's why I sing your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. You will be praised, and you will be praised with angels and saints. So we sing, worthy are you, Lord, and you will be praised. You will be praised with angels and saints. So we sing, worthy are you, Lord. And it's why I sing your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips. You were the Word at the beginning, one with God the Lord Most High. Your hidden glory would not hold you. The veil tore before you. You silenced the boast of sin and grave. The heavens are roaring, the praise of your glory. For you are raised to life again, and you have no rival, and you have no equal. Now and forever, God, you reign, and yours is the kingdom, yours is the glory, yours is the name above all names, and death could not hold you. The veil tore before you. You silenced the boast of sin and grave. The heavens are roaring, the praise of your glory. For you are raised to life again, and you have no rival, you have no equal. Now and forever, God, you reign, and yours is the kingdom, yours is the glory, yours is the name above all names. What a powerful name it is! What a powerful name it is! The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a powerful name it is! Nothing can stand against. What a powerful name it is! The name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is! The name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is! The name of Jesus.
God, we just are grateful and thankful for your power, for the power in your name. And I just pray, Jesus, over this time that you would just be more real to each and every one of us. Just draw us close to you, Father God. In your name, amen.
So, the goal here is obviously not that I'm speaking at you guys, not that that's what Andy does, but obviously there's not as much interaction on a normal Sunday. But that we're having like a time as a family, that we're around the table having food. They got extra food on purpose so that we could sit here and eat while we talk. So like very seriously, just grab stuff. That's what we're doing. If you need to get up and get coffee, get up and get coffee. Like this is 48 people get up and everybody's out. And can you give me some coffee?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks. Like if you're with your family, you wouldn't feel impolite to get up and get coffee in the middle of a conversation, right? You wouldn't. So that's what we're doing. We're having that time. So I really don't want to sit here and look at 48 bagels by the time we're done. The whole thing donut holes.
I think you're underestimating how much we eat for services.
That's possible.
Eggs are already gone. You're welcome.
Sure. Fair. There's enough people that had it. All right. So what I wanted to talk about was, and this is coming from me, not from Andy. He didn't necessarily tell me not to say it, but this is coming from me. Is that it's time, I think, for Woodland to take the next step. We've come a long way in the last couple of years since we've been here, and sacrifice and stretching and being uncomfortable, probably tears at some point. And that was like week 1, right? 2 years ago. But for where we are now with the setup, like we're in a really good place. And the service runs and we break down and it's good and like it's comfortable and that's really good. That's a good place to be. for a season, and I think we've had that season, and I think that's healthy. We're kind of in a routine now, and I guess my goal is to see if I can make you guys a little uncomfortable this morning. So if you feel uncomfortable, I'm not going to apologize for it. If you feel really bad, then let me know and I'll be gone. But I want to help us stretch a little bit more again as a family. So what does that look like? I will say this: to me, it does not look like anything on Sunday morning. I think Sunday morning is good, so I'm not trying to be like, hey, we need to set up or tear down faster or sing louder or whatever. This isn't about Sunday mornings. I think it just looks like getting back to our basics and our faith, but being serious about that. It's the stuff in our personal walks with the Lord, with our time with each other as a church family, and then our time with people outside the church. So that might seem like a lot of things, but I think that's just the basics of our faith, right? I think that's the foundation of what we're about. So, if you ask these questions, this is not directed at anybody individually. When I don't necessarily have something that I think that I have to share from the past week, it makes me question, like, what was I doing this week? Like, why don't, like, in my mind, everybody's hand should, like, immediately go up and be like, oh yeah, okay. I've got a story of some sort. Maybe it's not a good one, and maybe you should keep your hand down. But like, something should pop in your head, like, oh, like, yes, God did something. So when I don't have that, I'm like, man, where was I in my walk this week? So it's just something to think about. So I'm going to go to one of the most familiar passages in the Bible, and instead of trying to be one of these people, it's like, I'm going to pull something new out of it that's like really cool and deep and like insightful. We're actually just going to keep it really basic and just look at it for ourselves. I think the most important things in our faith are very simple and not confusing, because I think if they were confusing, why would God make the important things in our faith confusing? Because if he wants other people to come to know him, why should that be a difficult thing, right? So there are some like theological things that people bicker about, and it's really stupid. But the important things in our faith, everybody should agree on pretty quickly, like saved by faith through grace alone, by grace through faith alone. Things like that, like the Trinity, the Bible is the Word of God, like very basic things, not real complicated. So, all right, then I'll ask some questions, and hopefully we can get a little deeper with each other. Like we can open up a little bit. We can have fun while we do that. It doesn't have to be like a serious, like this isn't a therapy session. Like we can have fun and talk, but maybe get deeper and open up a little bit. So, the verse is Acts 2, 42 and 47. First church, very, very familiar. They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostles. All the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. So I'm sure most of us are familiar with that passage. So my first question, I only have a few questions, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm hoping you guys, it'll like spur some conversation and more eating. So when you think about that passage and you think of your time here at Woodland, do you experience the unity that they had in that first church in Acts? Do you feel like you experienced that? Why not? What? And this could be like, I experienced it in this area, but maybe not as much in this area. It's not like all or nothing necessarily, right? So it's not like, oh yeah, we're good or we're bad. It's like, oh, here is good. This could use some work. Are there things missing that from your side or from the church's side that would help with that? So that's my first question. It's about the unity.
First question, that was 4 and 1.
It was a topic, and that's my first topic. Thought process. I'm trying to give you options of those questions to answer.
What's that?
No, she went first. She's got it.
So I guess for me, yes and no, because like I definitely think that we have a good fellowship going. I think we have like a good, like with who's here, we're good, you know, like it's a tight knit group, but we're not adding to our numbers daily yet, or like it, you know, like and I'm not necessarily like thinking church attendance, like we're not even, like people don't even visit and get saved, I guess, is what my mind is thinking. I don't know what the solution to that is, that I have one or that, but that's just something that is for sure.
Get over all that.
I think part of the solution's in that, because they just like hit me, I was like, they devoted themselves to fellowship. I've never thought of it like that. Like, that was just as important as all the other things. How can people fellowship? I know we talk about that a lot, but like, I guess in my mind, I feel like in church culture, we say that. We're like, yeah, you gotta be friends with people to get them saved, but it's not its own thing for the sake of.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like we can do that better. Like during the week.
Well, like she said, we do it when we're here, but then there's not mass groups of us getting together during the week, right?
Yeah. And, yeah, but I'm sorry.
And then just to, I want to reaffirm what you said. I think a lot of us are living most of that except for the adding to our numbers and And I agree with what you said, but I don't have an answer for myself, that when Andy asks 3 questions and Encounter with God, I was like, you don't have nothing but, God, what have you been doing? You know? I'm saying that about me. I'm not saying that about everybody else, but it doesn't make me feel good. And I don't know what to do.
I will say this, the Lord added to their number. This is your last one. The Lord added to their number. That's not our job. I just want to clarify that.
But to bounce off of what Sarah said, too, is like, I think a lot of times Christians can, and I don't know about how all of you come off public, except for, Dan. But we're working. But like a lot of times we can come across like we don't want to be with people who aren't like us. So, like, yes, it is like that's God will, like bring people in, but at the same time, is He gonna bring people in if we're not ready for it? Or like if we're not, like maybe He is, and maybe we're just not as accepting of Him. And I'm not like trying to put that on anybody. It's just.
Quick backtrack. So was the question about unity within our body, or was it with unity with other people?
No, it's within Woodland. I've spoken at a few churches on church being family, and Andy asked if I would just do that here because, well, he didn't really ask until Tuesday. I said, can't prepare it like something new, so he said, I'll do that. And I said I could, but I feel like Woodland is a family. Like, the whole point of that sermon is like people just skip to other churches because they want what they want. And if they don't see it somewhere, they go somewhere else where they find it. Well, I mean, like, this is the choir, and I'm preaching. Like, you guys are all here, and you've been here, and you've been very committed. So I was like, I don't know why I would give that sermon to this group like that. You guys are doing it. So on one level, you guys are very, really doing a good job. Like, Woodland's definitely a church family.
do have one
A
question
small
about-
thing.
I do have one question about that, though, when you're talking about unity. So we've talked about together on Sundays, we keep coming back. You know, we're not the fanciest church in the town. We still keep coming here, but I think part of a family would be how much are we communicating and interacting outside of this space, though? You know, do we interact throughout the week? Do we, I mean, I know we're discussing small groups and that kind of stuff, but like, are we picking up the phone and calling each other throughout the week? Are we shooting texts? Be like, hey, how's it going? Hey, I heard you said this thing happened on Sunday. How's that going? Like, I feel like we kind of wait a week. And Sunday, at least this is my personal experience, and this is something I've been questioning myself on. Like, what can I be doing better on this? But it's something that I think we even talked to elders a little while ago about some of this stuff, about how can we create more connections throughout the week to, I don't know, check up on each other, just see, hey, how's life going? I think that would really strengthen that bond and fellowship, and that would create an even tighter knit group. Because that relationship now goes outside these walls. It's not only here.
It's not just going out to lunch. I know we're so guilty of this, in particular.
Just going out to lunch.
Just going out to lunch afterwards with some of our best friends and stuff like that.
Which
Which
is-
we haven't seen in a week. And
Which is
that's
fine, but
something
it's still like that's one step. That's one step that you can take.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. I think Sundays are really good, and yeah, there's stuff during the week that could be done as small steps. Not like everybody's got to check in with everybody every week, or maybe one week I'm checking with Jake. I mean, I probably would check in with 90 because I'm afraid to find out, but like not a different week I'm checking with Stan.
Dolphin would call you every day.
Yes, don't do that. That's good. All right, that's good. I appreciate you guys are thinking through this, so I appreciate that. So, and Sarah Strader said the word, but a healthy church is marked by continual devotion to the Lord, to His people, and to His work in the world. It must be continual in the sense of a deliberate resolve to be in His Word and to be worshiping Him. So, when we think of Woodland, when we think about devotion to the Lord, to His people, and to His work in the world, where do you think Woodland does the best of those three, and where could we work to improve with those three? Devotion to the Lord, to His people, and to His work in the world.
I'm having a hard time making it feel separately, to be honest.
Watch out.
Like the different, I mean, especially, what's the last one you said now?
His work in the world, like
Yeah, what is
just
it?
reaching people that are not in the church.
Because it's different than his people though?
Yes, His people would be like the people in the church.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
Yes, that is good work.
Probably his work in the world, because I don't think about it, but it's easy during the week if you having a conversation with somebody and they happen to be a believer, and then you talk and it's great, but then there's everybody else you encounter that are not engaging, you know, and it seems that life and the job and work and stuff gets in the way, and then you don't think about it until it's midnight, you're going to bed, and you're like, man, I didn't talk to anybody today, or could have said something to this guy, or encouraged somebody. Another day bites the dust.
Yeah, I would fix myself.
Yeah, well, that's how you're supposed to sit up, slouching.
Personally, for me, I'll be really good at two, and then like the third one kind of flops. And like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not good at any of them, and I feel like that's what's happening right now. For me personally, just like I like getting distracted by my circumstances instead of like recognizing who God is in those. And like
as a congregation, the area we lack the most is, you know, honestly, what have we done for the community or within the community in the last 6 months? Now, I'm not pointing the finger like to people individually. I mean, I know, you know, I'm busy with, you know, some of my, you know, things that, you know, I serve the Lord in, you know, outside of the congregation. But what, as a congregation, as Woodland Community Church, what have we done for the community lately? Other than holding service and making sure there's donuts and coffee out for those who come to visit. Ouch. Yeah.
I don't think it's the desire isn't there though, so I think that's okay to say, because maybe we don't know exactly how or what, or maybe we just don't know we can. As a body, it's hard to think as a body. That's not me. So what's that look like?
Is it too late to go back to experience your blessing in the community? I just realized, a couple of weeks ago, somebody else saw the chess sign, called Andy, and then, so it's a woman in the neighborhood, has a couple of kids that play chess at the library and somewhere else. She said she's gonna come, bring the kids. I mean, that was my idea in the whole first place. Because her question was actually, the exact question I want people to ask when they find out about us, because she said, do you have to be a member of the church? Is it just for Woodland? Is it just, you know, just for church people? Do you have to be a member? That's what her question. And it's supposed to be open to anybody that drives down the road and sees the sign. And if your kids play chess or you play, you know, that's just my calling in this community to as an outreach. It's not outreach, that's not the word. Outreach is something. My
Relationship.
Ministry. Could that be a ministry?
Missional connection point?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking of,
I forget what we call it. I don't remember.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
We all know where you're going with it.
You're building relationships.
Right. Right.
That's good.
Right now, the couple of the people that come already go to church, and then there's a couple of young people. But I mean, that's how the one guy found me who's in Lansdowne. He liked my handle on the one chess playing site, Psalm 119, 105. He responded, and now he comes up and plays. He's, you know, already believed.
I bet you were about to go on a monologue.
Something I just thought about with, so we're talking about impacting the community, we're talking about these three different areas of devoting ourselves to the Lord, devoting ourselves to the people of God, and devoting ourselves to the work we're doing in the world, which is impacting the church. There's something that I heard a little while ago, and this is talking about leadership and how you can advance the growth of groups or organizations, and it's talking about momentum. If you want something to grow fast, you want a lot of momentum, and as momentum increases, that growth should start to expand. Well, the idea they talked about momentum was three different categories of it. There's something called private momentum, something called personal momentum, personal momentum, and something called group momentum. It starts at the top and works its way down. So private momentum in this situation is how you're developing yourself, how you're becoming the kind of person that you need to be in order to lead something like that, to create something like that. And that's reading, listening to talks or music or whatever that is enriching or is of whatever material it is that you need in order to grow. So for example, if you're a person that wants to grow a massive restaurant, you're probably somebody that needs to be constantly consuming material, either listening to top chefs or business owners that have successfully done these kinds of things, hearing what they have to say, reading materials about it, doing research on it, constantly absorbing information that's related to that particular thing. In our case, that should be Bible, prayer, listening to other church leaders, worship music, whatever that is, something that can help drown out nonsense and be able to enrich us in whatever that is. That's private momentum. Personal momentum is actually taking action, getting out there, actually doing something and getting outside your comfort zone. In our situation, that would be you're walking around, you're at a grocery store, you see a guy shop for something, say, hey, how's it going? Maybe he responds. If he doesn't, okay, that's all right. He doesn't have to talk to you. If he decides to, talk to him and be like, hey, how's it going? Strike up a conversation, get to know him a little bit. Maybe he's got something going on that maybe he's open to hearing about church, or maybe he's just open to being prayed for, or just having a nice conversation with somebody, then having somebody encourage him. May not necessarily have to talk about God, but that may be stepping outside your comfort zone a little bit. That's taking action, and that's development, further developing you as a person, and you're starting to create momentum. Because the more kinds of stuff you do with that, the more opportunities you're going to run into. You're eventually going to cross paths with somebody that needs church now, and you can say, hey, I have a great place that you can go, and you get them right here. And group momentum is just the thing that naturally happens as those things start happening. The more of us that are doing that and taking those kinds of action, it's going to start to become a catalyst for the rest of us to start seeing it like, wow, that person's really on fire. Maybe I should do the same thing, and that's going to keep happening. So I honestly think that in being devoted to those three different areas, those are the kinds of things that we need to start doing as people, and we will start seeing these bigger things happen. I sometimes think we jump right to this massive thing of, we need to go build a park, and we're going to do that as a church. And I group myself in this, but we haven't prayed in 3 weeks and haven't read our Bible in 2 years. Like, those kinds of, that's a big jump. Not saying we can't do that, but there's a lot of, the purpose or goal behind it is not going to be as impactful, and the passion and desire that we have for it's not going to quite be there, you know?
You don't necessarily know that God wants you to build a park if you're not praying and haven't read your Bible in 2 years.
Right, are we truly hearing from God? So, that's my 2 cents.
Still good ideas.
Do you have something to say?
What are you thinking about? That pertains to the conversation.
That was really good then.
It's funny how Zach says that, because I was talking to Jacob this week about that, and talking about what are we doing to grow this church? Because every Sunday I come in here and I just pray for the seats on this church, for those that do come and visit and go from there. And I was telling Jacob, I'm going from a church that we did everything for the community. We did 3 block parties in one summer, and we do turkey giveaways, Christmas giveaways, and so we're so involved with the community that when I came here, it was just we're called a community church, and yet, what are we doing for the community? What are we doing to include people here, you know what I mean? And to keep them. And so it's funny that he said that, because I'm I've only been here for a year, so I don't feel like I have that right to say that. So for him to open that up, I was all right, Jesus, this is something that you want. You want this out or something. But I do agree. It's what are we doing? We are comfortable. We are a family, and we do have that connection, even though it's just one Sunday, or we reach out in those group texts. We do have that connection. How can we embrace that and bring that to the world? I know for some of us, we work in a Christian organization, and it's oh, we're talking to Christian people, what about they already have a church? But outside of that workspace, who do you have neighbors, and do you have guys shopping in the supermarket that you can talk to? For me, it's there's so much. I feel inside of me, that's what I want to do. It's to grow to grow Woodland and see it, grow, and have youth, and have kids, and have, married folks, single people, engaged people, different type of a variety and generation gaps as well. in this church, and it's like, but how do we do that? How do we take, that comfortable zone and be uncomfortable to invite someone to Woodland and keep that invitation going. And it's just like, all right, so we know the issue now. What's the solution going to be? He works towards that, because you can say it, but it's like, oh yeah, I can invite 3 people this week, and don't do it. You know what I mean? And like, oh, I was busy and this, and it's like, when can we stop the excuses and just do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice. Should get it out.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If that's okay. I'm gonna ask you guys to raise your hands about something. I don't wanna like say what it is and talk about it, 'cause I think that would take too much time. But like as we're talking about this, is there anything that you guys have already thought of, like, I feel like God's called me to do this, or I should be doing this, like pertaining to like reaching out to the community? Does anyone already feel like, yeah, there's something that I feel like I know that I should be doing or want to do?
Are you talking like specific idea, or that we felt like we should be just doing
Do
something?
you have something that has come up like an actual idea in your head already as you've been talking?
If it's along the lines of just an idea, not necessarily God leading.
I just want
I
to.
mean, I think we've all had ideas.
I don't know. God definitely answered me when
No,
you
I
opened
just
that up.
wondered if anybody else was like, there is something.
Well, we have that area, where you live, right behind it. There's so many ideas, so many things, events that you can do, and it's like, why are we doing it?
It's by a circus tent,
Right.
Those
You
are
build
like
it up,
4 or
and
5
then
ideas, so like we should do that. Like, why am I not doing that? That's a lot. That would make some impact.
I'm really happy that Megan stayed. You invited her, and she was committed. So what made you stay? That's
I mean, one other thing to add to, what I started and then what Maggie added onto, and I'm gonna add onto it yet some more. I guess the other question is, we want to see the congregation grow. We want to see us getting involved in the community. And then, I know how busy my schedule is with work, kids, and, the things I'm involved in. I guess the question then needs to be, what are we willing to sacrifice in our own lives to see the congregation grow? Are there things in our lives that are getting in the way? Just to make it a little more uncomfortable.
Maybe to go off of that a little bit, maybe not, it's like there are some things in your life that you can't sacrifice,
Understood. No, I get it.
and stuff. So to add on to that, what sort of paradigms can we shift in our own lives for the things that we are currently doing, that we can sort of make an impact in that specific place, along with sacrifice.
Every time.
There you go. Your mouth at once and 45
Not eat all week. I have to touch them to break them off. And
That'll make it better.
Watch his pockets when he leaves them.
See, that's good. That's family. Good job, Steve County. There's always got to be that uncle that
old
everybody's
grapes.
gosh,
I'm no one's
almost-
Steve.
I can't.
It's hard.
I guess.
No, that's really good. What you said and your twist, they're both really good. Is there anything that kept you?
I don't know.
Not to put you on the spot.
Yeah, they're big grapes too. It's like a grapefruit.
I just thought everyone was so nice and had a smile on their face and just, it was definitely like a family, like it just, the feeling that I was looking for, like, I would go to Calvary here and there and it was just like a sea of people and I don't know, I didn't know how to connect. And so coming here, it was like, I remember I texted Dawn and I was like, I'm just gonna hide in the back. When I got here, there was like 10 people, so I was like, there's no hiding. There's only 10 people. But yeah, tricked into that. But no, I don't know. I think it was just timing for me personally because I've been like wanting to go to church for almost 2 years. It's just been like a pull. Where should I go? And then just randomly like went off. He just told me about church, and then I came, and I think it just all was timing for me. And I don't know, everyone was just so nice.
You're so nice.
Yeah, that's good. Well, you guys are, this is going actually really well because you're kind of like hitting the questions that I haven't asked ahead of time, which is great because my goal here was that we're thinking through something together, not that I'm telling you something. Again, not that that's what he tries to do, but you know, people talk for half an hour and you just sit and listen.
It's all propaganda.
So, we don't have to answer this. This kind of goes along with what Sarah was just asking, but my challenge to you is there one thing that you can commit to doing in your life? It doesn't have to be like an event or but is there just anything you can commit to kind of stretching yourself a little bit? And is there a person you can be accountable to for it? And I mean like actually accountable, like if Dan and Sarah are supposed to be accountable to each other, but they don't really call each other out on it because it's uncomfortable, because how am I going to call him out when you sleep in the same bed? Like then don't be accountable to each other. Like you two be accountable to each other because I know you'll call each other out. You know, like but like just one step, whether it's devotion to the Lord, to this church, or to being in the community. It doesn't have to be huge. Okay.
Let me make a suggestion on that with the accountability thing. I almost wonder, and I mean maybe you don't have an option other than this. I wonder if it may be better rather than have two people be accountable to each other. If one person is accountable to another person, that person's accountable to somebody else. And you know, the reason why I say that is because what tends to happen, and I know this from personal experience with accountability partners my entire Christian life. What tends to happen is one person will fail, and the other person will do the same thing, and you'll come together and be like, hey, so did you do this thing? Nah, I didn't. Like, me neither. And then it ends up not being a thing going forward because both of you messed up, and now you both think, oh, well, I can't really call this other person out because I messed up, and it just kind of dies, especially early on when you're trying to create habits. Whereas if I'm accountable to Zach, and Zach's accountable to Dolph, I go to Zach, be like, hey, so did you meet your goal this week? Like, no, I didn't. Now he can coach me and mentor me in that, but now I have to worry about them telling me, hey, I messed up too. He's accountable to somebody else, and that's never a thing for me. He almost has that positioning, and we have to be able to say, like, oh, well, maybe let's try this, let's do this. He can coach me on that, despite whatever he's doing. That never comes up in the conversation, and then I'm able to just focus on me rather than focusing on what Zach's doing at that time and place. That's just a suggestion. That's just. Maybe we don't want to do that. Maybe that's a terrible idea.
No, that's good. I would just say, put yourself in a position to actually be accountable to somebody. So if that works better for you, then do that. I don't think we need to have prescribe for all of Woodlands what it looks like, but I think it's a really good idea.
Right, each person's responsible.
If you hear that, and you're like, actually, yeah, that makes sense. It would be better. Go find somebody to be accountable to, and actually be accountable.
Maybe that's a good thing to say, because then I can be like, Maggie, will you keep me accountable for this? And she doesn't just be like, oh yeah, and you can be accountable for, just yeah, so just whatever.
I would recommend everybody be accountable to Maggie because she will yell at you.
She don't care.
Yeah. Like, what's wrong with you? You said you were going to do this. Are you kidding me right now? Yeah.
You guys think that I'm like the villain in this church, huh?
I'm just really good at accountable. That was a compliment. All right. I will wrap up with my kind of closing thoughts. But I will say this: if you have other thoughts that we didn't get to, by all means, you can talk to me. I'm sure you can talk to Andy. Talk to each other. Whatever. Keep the conversation going. Just, it doesn't have to end. It's time to close. But my closing thoughts. The basis for this is our devotion to the Lord. if you're not spending time daily, hopefully, with God, in the Word, in prayer, kind of like Dan was talking about your private momentum, then the rest of this conversation is basically pointless. So if that's the place where you need to be accountable to somebody, where you're going to say, I'm going to read one chapter a day, it takes 5 minutes, or I'm going to pray for 5 minutes a day, and I'm going to be accountable to somebody, I'm going to ask somebody to text me every day at 6 p.m. to see if I did it, and if I haven't, then I still have time in the evening to do it, or something simple like that. Like, it's not hard, but if you're not doing that, the rest of this is pointless. So, the other thing, we're not in this alone. Obviously, we have each other, and we're talking about that with accountability, but we have each other, we have other believers from other churches that you may know. We're all part of this thing together. The thing that I like to remind myself is that this is not me doing the work of anything. Like, all the things we're talking about, kind of like you were saying, like, we could do, what were we talking about building? A park, right. But if the Lord's not in it, then why are we doing it? So it's not us doing the work, it's Him doing the work. He just lets us be a part of it. He uses us, but especially when you're in a relationship with people individually, you are not trying to change that person. The Holy Spirit will change people's hearts. That's His job. Stay in your lane, know your role, know what your role is not, and what God's role is. For me, that's comforting to not put pressure on myself, just remembering that. And ultimately, this isn't about us. It's about people that don't know Him. It's about sharing the love of Christ. I don't think I need to dive into that. If you're walking around life focused on yourself and you just don't even notice that there are other guys dudes in the shampoo aisle, I got a lot of questions about shampoo. Dudes in the shampoo aisle? Yeah, their latest pop hit. But if you don't even notice that stuff or want to spend the time to like say hello, you are going to personally shrink spiritually. Like, your life will shrink, even if you think you're learning more and more and more. If it's not actually like playing out in your life, you're shrinking yourself. So it's, just be aware of that. Romans 7:6 says, "But now we have been delivered from the law, having died to what we were held by, so that we should serve in the newness of the Spirit and not in the oldness of the letter." So all what we're talking about is not meant to be, we need to do more stuff. We have to do more. This is, serving in the newness of the Spirit is just like, He's just working and I want to do something like that. I need to like, let it play out in my life. It's such a different mindset than like, I keep thinking about this, I gotta keep doing this, it's work, it's, so different. So I want to, that's another one of my favorite verses where it's like, no, I'm serving in the newness of the Spirit, like I enjoy it. This is actually fun. Serving is probably not the right word for me. It has a bad connotation, but it's good. Anyway, so we don't have to do more. So, like I was saying, if your walk with God isn't where it should be, then it feels like a chore. Or some people fight against that and they go, well, I'm really not going to like schedule this, and I'm just going to let God work and stuff. But if you can look back over your life over the last 6 months or whatever and go, man, I haven't actually done anything. Like, we've all been probably on both ends of that scale. Neither of those are really right. You want to be in that middle where God's working and you're just along for the ride, which is just spending time with Him. And then people are just in your life. You're not looking for opportunities to serve people. People are just like coming into your life, and it's like, whoa, like, how is this happening? I don't understand. People are just driving buses and you're getting to know them. Good, because that's the Holy Spirit working instead of us working. All right, and last thing is, that's why I appreciate this 4-chapter hashtag thing that Amy's trying to do. For me, that should be nothing more than a blog of what God is doing, and that we happen to have a part of it and like see it, and we're just kind of like keeping track of what He's doing. It's not like, this is what I went out and did, and this is what he went out and did, and she did. Like, it's just like, oh, this is what God is doing, and we're aware of, and we're just keeping track of it, and it's fun. Like, it's a good thing. It's just encouraging. So all this stuff is meant as an exhortation to you guys as a church. I think Woodland is doing a really good job in a lot of areas. And I think Woodland has set the foundation to be able to now take the next step to experience more of the fullness of what God has for us. And I think that what we've done over the last couple of years has been necessary to get to this point. But I really want to encourage that this isn't. Now we can take the next step, we can stretch a little bit more, we can do it together, we can have fun doing it. It doesn't have to be an awful thing. And I think he's going to work. We just need to. So that's it. Is that cool? Are there any other, somebody really wants to say something before we close in prayer? Because we're all sitting. Nope. Are you just going to sneeze?
Yeah.
I thought you were getting like a.
No, now it went away, but people should be warned. It's deafening.
All right. Well, let's just say, just along these lines, to bishop the Lord, to the church, and to the community, whatever that looks like on your heart right now. We'll just pray for a few minutes. I think it's 11:18, so we'll just pray for a few minutes. I'll close this. So, as usual, we'll jump in.
Reckless love too wild to understand. Breathing the world to life in your romance. So here I am. Your love has got me up in arms again. And this hope won't let me go. My joy is boundless. My soul knows